everybody, and welcome to Pretty Little Liars, the after show here on the Stream.TV fan show network. Tonight we don't have an after show for you because there obviously wasn't a new episode, but this episode of the Pretty Little Liars after show is all about your theories and ours and what we are all thinking getting ready for PLL return in December. Why are you laughing already? You guys, we are so excited. Thank you so much to everybody who has tweeted in over the past couple weeks all of your theories. We've picked out some really good ones and we're getting ready to talk to you about them. My name is Sinead de Vries and joining us are my pretty little talkers over here on my left.
Hi guys, Ashley Mova. I was telling them before the show started, I'm feeling a little bit lost right now because I didn't get my weekly fix of PLL. But I'm glad we're doing this theory show. You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Ashley Mova.
Yes, I'm on Instagram and Twitter as well, at Sinead de Vries. Ashley's right, we didn't get our fix, but at least we have this, you guys. This is good. I think that, yeah, we have you guys and we have this theory catch up, which is gonna be great. Over here on my right.
Hey guys, I am Meghan Lamontagne, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Meg Lamontagne, and it certainly feels good to be here on a Tuesday night talking to all of you.
Yes, we are home. And over here as well.
Hi guys, I'm Stephanie Gray. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Stephanie L. Gray. Totally agree with everybody else right now in the sense that we are lost without an episode. But that being said, all of you fans have been tweeting us theories all week and pictures. I got some really funny ones, and it was like, how I feel when there's no PLL, and someone just lying dead on the floor.
Or the one screenshot of Janelle Parrish, Mona lying after she fainted, and someone was like, how I'm feeling.
Yeah. Those are like the best ever. I really like those. So thanks, you guys. Should we jump into it?
Yes, let's get going.
I feel like one of the really big things that happened in the entire season, in the finale episode,
in the entire show,
last frickin' 5 minutes, was Mona's death. So Mona is murdered. So we think. But fan theory number one, who killed her? Mona killed herself. Mona faked her own death in order to frame Allie for murder. She fainted that time because she'd been drowning in her own blood gradually in preparation for the murder setup. As in, she was like drawing her own blood weekly.
Yeah.
And then she fainted because she didn't have enough blood in her body. And then she sprayed it everywhere to make it look like a murder and then framed Allie. So, what do we think about that?
Yeah. And that fan theory came from at Fan for Me.
Yes.
Great theories. You always have great theories.
I loved that theory so much because the first time that somebody pointed out to me that Mona had that Band-Aid on her arm the day that she fainted, that happened, and I was like, we cannot ignore that, you guys. We can't ignore that. She obviously had gotten blood drawn. And then when she fainted, we were all kind of like, you know, I've fainted after getting blood drawn.
Oh, absolutely. I'm the worst.
Yeah,
Don't take me to the hospital. I will not survive it.
Absolutely. It's like, we know that that's a very normal thing. They usually have to put me in a recliner. I have a terrible fear of needles. That is another show.
Why are we the same person?
I don't know. But no, seriously, so I have passed out from getting my blood drawn. So when that came up, I thought that was such a good theory. Also, a lot of people were saying Mona in the trunk didn't really look like she had gone through that much of a struggle. Like, there was blood all over the walls, all over the floor.
People said she was maybe possibly in a
coma.
Induced state of like a drug or something, and I've seen that in other movies. You can like slow your heartbeat down.
Because that's the only thing that doesn't add up.
Romeo and Juliet. Hello.
Exactly. This fan theory totally makes sense, except for the fact that we did see Mona in the trunk, dead.
Right.
Eyes glaze over, super scary. So
someone said though that we only saw Mona's face, and A has a thing about making masks of people, so it could just be a mask. I'm not really. I mean, I love the fan theory. I love the idea behind it. I'm not really buying into it though. But I think it's so suspicious that we saw that Band-Aid on her arm because wardrobe or makeup would have definitely covered that up if it didn't mean something. You wouldn't really just go to set with a Band-Aid.
Or, you know, really quickly before we move on, but the whole twin theory came into play again. Someone was saying that Mona is, Marlene King had tweeted, Mona is really dead. She's dead, she's dead.
Right.
But like, what if she did have a twin, and so then in a sense, like, Marlene meant that, like, okay, there was a death, yes, but if Mona had a twin, maybe that blood was being drawn so that it would come up as being Mona's blood, but like who we saw in the trunk was actually her twin. Which would be so weird and messed up if she put her twin, like, you're gonna take the fault for this one, babe. I'll get you in the afterlife. But you know what I'm saying? I did read that.
It would overall be a great way for them to get Mona back into the show, and I think fans would be really excited. So please let that be what actually happened and not
seriously.
just a theory. All right, so the other big theory that we keep seeing all over Twitter is from Skylar Jane DL, as well as a ton of other people. And they say, I think Cece killed Mona and Allie told her to. Allie doesn't do her dirty work, which is what Sinead said, but that would make sense because, okay, we saw a billion pictures on Twitter of this hair that didn't match of A in the black hoodie. Some hair was curly, some hair was more blonde, some hair was straight, and everyone's saying it was perhaps either Cece and Allie,
Right.
or just Cece.
Or just that it was two different people.
Right.
It was definitely two different people. I personally do not think that Cece killed Mona.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be too obvious. I want my mind to be blown, and my mind would not be blown if we found out it was Cece.
Right.
I personally think the very last shot we saw of the kind of chopped off blonde
Straight
hair,
hair.
is a wig.
Yeah.
Is a wig.
Me too.
Yeah.
And a man
Or
was
a
wearing
really
it.
bad haircut.
Right.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Because
Like,
it was very choppy.
don't go to that salon anymore.
No, it's probably the salon that Detective Badger gets her perms.
Right. No, but we're gonna talk about this, the two, theory in a little bit. But I definitely don't even think that was a bad haircut because I'm a girl, and no matter how fresh your haircut is, your hair does not look that healthy ever. I
What
don't
are you
think
talking about,
healthy.
Mova?
I don't know. Maybe I curl my hair way too much, but that just looked like a really blunt, straight, healthy cut.
Girl,
And
your hair is gorgeous. That hair, not so much.
What are you? You don't give yourself enough credit.
No,
You have
I'm saying
gorgeous locks.
no. That's not the point,
Luscious
guys. What I'm
locks.
saying is, I don't think it was Cece because I don't think it was someone's real hair. Like it just
Okay.
looked way too
Yeah.
blunt
Yeah.
to be. No
Yeah.
one's hair is that healthy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
I read really quick. I hope this is not like getting into another theory, but just because we're talking about two different alleys, I read. I think it was today. Somebody Instagrammed, DM'd me and said that the reason why one of them was Allie, and that she went because she was going to see who was going to kill.
Oh, well, that would make sense.
You know, so Allie walked into the room.
What a sick girl. She's a sick
I mean,
girl.
I just wanna watch
if
Murder
Allie isn't
today.
A, which I know we are over here on the couch are very split on that theory, but if she isn't A, that would be really smart of her to do. If she's been following this
creepy.
creepy as much as she is, maybe she wanted a front row seat and watching Mona get, you know.
I mean, she is A, so that doesn't make sense.
All right. So last thing with this whole Mona's death was Mona's death set up. We already went over this a little bit, but at Dorson 1995, is that when you were born? Says it looks like she had a blood test. We might find out the blood in that house was not hers. So that would mean that someone else framed Mona's murder, meaning Mona would still be alive and someone else is dead or
Yeah.
someone else is
Yeah. Well, I
being
think it's
framed to be
cool.
dead.
I think the whole blood test theory is so cool. That's
Yeah.
a very minor detail that.
It's also a way, you guys, for Pretty Little Liars to get out of everything that they just made us think.
Yes,
They can be like,
exactly.
actually, the whole thing was fake and it was a test. And
I
I'm like,
absolutely see them doing that. I see
Yeah.
them saying that it was not just Mona's blood, if at all Mona's blood. It was just so much blood.
Right.
Right.
Like a lot of blood.
I could see them having one of those police conferences where everyone's gathered, like they just did for Bethany Young, where
Yeah.
everyone's gathered at the house and
Yeah.
the police says that blood was actually not Mona's blood. And then they reveal who it is, and then Mona has a twin. Oh my gosh, that'd be so crazy.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Or it was her blood to make it look like she got killed, but she's actually not dead.
no, you guys, all that blood did not come out of that little pee cut in Mona's forehead and just
Right.
gushing everywhere. No.
I'm not a doctor or anything, but you do bleed the most from your face. It's true. My mom told me that once. I think I got a cut. I was bleeding a lot, and you bleed a lot from your face, guys.
Thank you,
I mean,
Dr.
you know what?
Lamontagne.
Really, yeah, seriously. Your mom is very knowledgeable. She really is. But really quickly though, this is really unrelated. Sorry, don't be mad at me. But I fell in the 7th grade, or I was in the 4th grade, and I got 8 stitches in my chin.
Yes.
But I got a little baby cut right here, and I kid you not, it was all over my face. And I bled like I had been stabbed in the temple. But this thing that I ended up getting 8 stitches barely bled. And it was in my neck. But they said in your face.
I'm telling you.
All
Send
right.
us your blood stories, guys.
I retract my statement.
How much you bleed.
We need some clarification.
Never mind.
All right, guys. So not only did obviously Mona die, but at the end of season 4, in the very first episode, season 5, episode 1, we had to deal with Ezra getting shot. So do we think that Shauna did shoot Ezra, or was it someone else now that we've gone through the entire season?
Or was it A, right?
Or essentially it was A, right?
It was either A or Shauna, or really anybody else on the freaking
right?
cast.
Anybody.
It could have been anybody.
It's hard for me to go back to that episode because obviously Hashtag Ezranade comes to mind. I love that we are able to go back so far, Megan. Like, I really do. But at the end of the day, honestly, like, this sucks. But I have no opinion, you guys. Like, I have no clear opinion as to who shot Ezra.
I think the most important thing is that he's alive.
Absolutely.
And that we just, but do you have
Yeah, I think, okay, so either it was Shauna because she was briefly doing all the A things, and Shauna was the one who was all limber, jumping on the roof, and Shauna was the one who killed him, which would make the most sense because Ezra, when he was in the bed, was like,
Yes, exactly.
and he was like
Right.
near coma.
Why would he have said that?
So
you know?
I
She
kind
took
of think
the
it's
gun
Shauna.
out of his pocket, if I remember correctly,
At Aria's.
at the hospital.
Yeah.
But do we really think that Shauna can pull off those limber moves?
Yeah, girl was on the swim team, wasn't she? Everyone's on the swim team.
not the gymnastic team, but the swim team.
Nobody can pull off those moves, you guys. Like, if the end of this, like they A took off the mask and it was like a Spider-Man mask, I wouldn't be surprised.
You'd be like, there we go.
That makes the most sense.
I think another question I had that never was really answered, maybe it was, why was Ezra even in New York to begin with? How did he
Right.
know the girls were going to be there? I'm still a little suspicious of Ezra. I love him,
too.
but I'm a little
You
bit
looked at
suspicious.
me.
And I love him, girl. Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
And after that night, he met up with Eddie. Where has Eddie been?
Oh, I know.
Ezra, did you kill Eddie?
Also,
So far-fetched, but still.
where has Eddie been? But also, where has the dog gone? Remember the dog?
Yes,
Pepe! People have been tweeting me being like, the little dog. I'm
Eddie,
like, I know.
Pepe, and Big Rhonda, Detective
Big
Bathroom
Rhonda!
even.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
there's
I
just
miss
so
her.
many. I miss her too, dude. Yeah, there's so
homeless
many
guy.
ways. So I guess, Megan, what you're asking is, like, do any of us really, is anybody like more yes than no on anybody on who killed him?
I'm more
I'm
Shauna.
lost.
I'm Shauna.
I think right now I'm going to say Shauna because it just
Ezra
makes the most
says
sense.
so.
It just makes me the
Yeah.
least stressed out.
I'm gonna
But we want to know
agree.
what you think. Do you guys think it was Shauna? Do you think it was someone else? Theories.
Yeah.
But moving on to more recent things, who is Bethany Young? The questions everybody's asking. The body discovered in Allie's grave. Our first theory comes from Anson Paul 7, and they write, what if Bethany Young is the daughter of Mrs. DiLaurentis and Mr. Hastings, but was kept a secret? Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
That's such drama.
Which would
this
make
theory.
her,
Drama.
which
Love
would
this
make her a half sibling.
Here we
Let's
go.
see if I can get this right, guys.
no,
Would make her
seriously.
a half sibling with Allie, and it would make Bethany a half sibling with Spencer.
Right.
I didn't get a chance to look at this, but I think one of our
Somebody tweeted
beloved
me a
tweeters,
family
family tree,
which was
Riley.
wonderful.
Riley
Oh, is that
shot.
Riley?
She
Riley.
made
Yeah,
a family tree.
I mean, we can talk about this family tree because I actually made a list on vacation of every single way it could go, depending on who.
Sinead has no
Did
life.
you do this on the plane?
No, I did. I did this in Chicago, you guys, like sitting outside, just because I needed to understand where Bethany would come into play. Honestly, like where Bethany would come into play if she was either the daughter of Mrs. DiLaurentis and Mr. Hastings, if she was the daughter of freaking Mrs. Kavanaugh. Like, people have been saying so many things.
Right, and I just came
It's
up with a new theory that maybe Mrs. DiLaurentis died because she's been exhausted from getting it on with so many people in her lifetime. Damn, Mrs. DiLaurentis, you get around. This is
Bitch gets around.
True. It's so true.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I know. I love this theory. I personally think that Bethany is twins with Jason and half siblings with Allie and Spencer.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I think, like, if we're asking, like, who is Bethany Young, at this point, I just feel like Bethany Young isn't actually who was in that grave. Like, I just don't think it was her. And I also don't believe that Allie does not know who Bethany Young is.
Yeah,
I
I don't,
definitely
like,
do not
there's
believe.
people know who she is. Like,
Yeah,
this isn't some, like, ooh, this random girl. Of course not. I mean, this girl is really, really connected to
Yes,
these,
absolutely.
you know?
I have a theory. This is gonna be a long one, guys, so
Oh,
get
we're ready.
excited. Okay, so here's my theory. I think that Mrs. D is the mom of both Bethany and Allie. Allie and Bethany are sisters, but not twins. Because I know everybody says that they're not twins, like it's let out, the cat's out of the bag, that Allie doesn't have a twin, but she could have a sister.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna save the rest of my theory for
yeah,
like 5
I mean,
seconds.
we got obviously Rachel Watkins. I told everybody about your tweet, but like, or your theory. But Rachel had this great theory. It was like 6 pages long, and it just made so much sense, saying that Bethany was the twin of Cece. and you know, like that way, and that Cece and Bethany, or Cece was out for revenge that night, and she had accidentally hit Allie, thinking it was Bethany, and like that would make sense how they were all wearing the same things, because Bethany had taken Cece's place, and Cece was literally just batshit crazy, and that she was like, she had taken her place, you know, like there's so many
ways it could go. Yeah.
I don't even know who's more annoying, Cece or Allison, but the next theory comes from Harry Stop, and it's about if Allison and Bethany are twins. He writes, Allison's mom would go see Bethany every day at Radley and take her out. But why would she do that unless it was her daughter? This one makes just like so much sense.
It makes so much sense.
All the pieces fit really nicely together.
But keep coming up with these things that make it not make sense. Damn you, PLL. The only thing that would not make sense is that Bethany was told to call her Aunt Jess.
Okay, so I have a theory about that.
Okay, tell us.
She's crazy.
Couldn't that work for everything though?
Yeah,
She's crazy.
Because they're crazy. They have two personalities, split personality. I think that would make sense because let's say Bethany is Mrs. D's daughter, but she's embarrassed. Oh.
You keep going.
Okay. What if Bethany is Mrs. D's daughter and she's embarrassed because her daughter is cray cray and she's in Radley, so she's like, just call me aunt, just call me aunt. And then Bethany's all butthurt about that, so then Bethany is jealous of Allie, so then Bethany obviously hates Allie because she's like, oh, Allie is mommy's favorite, whatever.
Yeah.
And then what comes of that is she wants to hit Allie over the head, and then what comes of that is Allie actually knows all of this, so then Allie is trying to get all the liars against Bethany because she's like, I'm scared of my sister. And then one more thing about that. Mrs. D, remember when she made that call? She's like, I'm real worried about Allie. Allie, don't go out of the house tonight. Don't go out of the house.
Obviously
because she knew Bethany escaped Radley and was
right.
going to go freaking kill her other daughter.
Right, and she took her to the horse stable.
Thank you.
Slow clap.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been really waiting a long time to get that out.
She took her to the horse stable, and then those initials were MH, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And maybe Mr. Hastings felt bad because he is the dad, and he was like, oh, here, borrow Melissa's hat.
Yeah.
I'll take my real daughter to the stable. This is the least I could do because I'm not a good dad. So I'm gonna give her a horse hat.
Yes.
Anyways, okay.
Horse hat.
Next theory comes from Ellie Shane, 94. And it says, Melissa Hastings is Bethany Young, but Bethany Young is not Melissa Hastings. Melissa was enrolled at Radley under Bethany Young. Duh! The dead Bethany is actually irrelevant because Melissa used that name.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely freaking love this theory.
I don't understand this theory at all.
Basically, Bethany Young is not Bethany Young. Like, Bethany Young is
just a fictional name.
Yes. And this goes back to like the things that we heard about. Maybe Sarah Harvey was the girl in the grave, the body in the grave, or it was somebody else randomly. But like that would make sense why the helmet said MH, and that would make sense why.
Yep.
You know, there's like all these different things, and obviously we know that the Hastings are already connected to the DiLaurentises. And like we think Bethany Young is the girl that was lying there that that Melissa pushed in the grave, but like maybe Melissa is literally insane. Like maybe
she seems like
she's
that.
crazy. She does. I mean, like she really does. She always has something really crazy to say, and Mr. Hastings is always trying to stop her. You know, always trying to stop her. Like maybe it comes back to Melissa literally being absolutely insane, and maybe she was in Radley under that name.
She's nice one minute, not nice the next.
Yeah.
Like her relationship with Spencer is bipolar.
And she's always going on vacation. Maybe she's checking into a hospital.
And maybe she doesn't know what's going on, you know? And I feel like Mr. Hastings and the rest of the Hastings would totally, I think that Mr. and Mrs. Hastings would cover something like that up because they're all about reputation and they're all about, you know?
Right.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
So it's crazy.
Okay, we've got another sub-point that we want to touch upon. Like, why did Bethany draw Toby's mom falling off the roof? And that has to do with fan theory coming from Heather Bancroft. What if Mrs. D was sleeping with Toby's dad? That's why she killed his mom.
Okay.
That's another theory that makes sense.
And then remember how we heard that, I don't know, you guys, this, like, all I keep thinking is how that voice, Bethany's voice, sounded exactly like Melissa. And remember how Melissa was like,
gosh.
Talking about Mrs. D, saying that Mrs. D was having an affair with her dad. You guys, like, seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Bethany
this
said.
is the new theory.
I just got chills. I just got chills. Bethany said in that interview. I just got so excited I might cry. Bethany said in that interview, Mrs. D is having an affair with my dad. I hate her. Like, what if this is freaking Melissa, you guys? I almost just said the F word.
It's okay. We
That's
forgive you.
serious. This is literally that serious.
Okay, but like
right
I
now.
know this is going against this theory, but like this is also a really good point because obviously whoever Bethany Young saw Mrs. D or Toby's mom falling off the roof because we saw on that drawing.
She was at rally.
Right, yeah.
She was at the rally.
But I mean, we know that Mrs. D was having an affair with Bethany Young's dad, and we talked about this a couple episodes ago. Like, the only person we know that was having an affair, was Mrs. D and Mr.
Are we
Hastings.
sure that Bethany was the one that drew them?
yeah, well,
not,
Rhonda
right?
said those are
Bethany's drawings?
I know,
Bethany's
but
paintings,
Ren is also an artist.
yeah, and he worked at Radley.
He could have drew them and given them to Bethany. Oh my God, that's another can of worms. But let's keep
open
moving.
it. Let's open all the cans of worms, guys. It's a can of worms episode.
Next time we'll continue talking about that. But right now we want to move on to something else. So we have covered the fact that obviously there's an A, but is there more than one A? Okay, so we don't have a specific one for this. We just want, okay, wait, okay. No, I was trying to remember like where we came up with that theory. So I did see a picture on Twitter and it had a close-up shot of, remember in season 5, episode 1, they showed a picture of A's phone, and on the phone it said group message. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think that there's just one head A? Do you think that there's a group of A's? What are we?
You nailed it on the head, girl. I think there's one head, and they're all obsessed with her. I'm gonna say her because it's totally Allie. And then she or he has people working for them.
Yeah.
Because A has something against everyone, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that would make sense, I feel like, because you can't, A is in so many places at once, literally. It has to be multiple people, right?
And we've seen so many different figures. And this always brings up a question in my mind if they're just using stand-ins and random people in jackets, or their figure actually has something to do with who A is. Because we're constantly seeing different shapes and different body types who are A. So is it just multiple people?
It could be like the extra gig of the century.
Yeah, I just
Lucky
honestly
extra.
feel like at this point that there's always been one A, and this one A has existed long before Allie ever went missing. I don't believe that Allie is A, but I do believe that Allie I don't believe she is the A. I think she is A in a sense, yes, because I feel like she is seeking out A. Like, Allie has a lot of secrets. We know Allie has secrets. And I think that people are taking this into their own hands at this point. We all know, like, Mona was A for a hot minute, and then, like, Cece was perhaps, like, Redcoat at one point. Like, there's so many different things, but I think it's only because these people are getting sucked into one big A. And Allie is A in the sense that she is on A's trail the entire time. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Allie knows who A is, but she's just trying to cover her own ass.
Well, how do we feel now that we laid that all on the table about this theory? It comes from @Rosewood Outcast. So there were 2 different people in Mona's house when she was killed. Essentially, one was a man and the other was Allie. So that's one theory. I do agree with that. There was definitely 2 different people.
Yeah, that's the
that
pic.
picture.
Of the hair.
I think one of them is Allie, but I really think the one on the bottom, I think that's a wig. I think that's a wig, and it's a man. Something about the body. That's what I think. So I definitely agree with this theory.
Someone said it could be potentially Travis.
That out of
Travis
left
had
field.
it's out of left field, but Travis. Oh, not Travis. I'm thinking of
Cyrus.
Holbrook?
No. He had an obsession with Hannah really fast.
Oh, no.
He's really cute. No, he's really sweet and like
Oh,
dorky.
Jake.
No, he's dorky.
Oh, Lucas!
Oh my God, Lucas.
Now
That's what I meant when I said no.
listen to every guy in the entire show. It's hilarious.
So
I was
Lucas.
like, Travis.
Because
Where
Lucas,
did that
I get
come
Lucas
from?
like a moment of insanity at some point. Like,
Yeah, he
was
did. He
crazy
lost
for a
it.
second.
He did. He
So
did.
maybe his new muse is Allie. Remember, he was obsessed with Hannah because he loved the way Hannah looked, and they kind of look similar.
Right,
Maybe
and
he's Allie now.
And then I heard that Lucas has been. This has been a lot. A lot of you guys have been saying this, but Lucas has been working for Allie from the beginning, or working for A, and whoever, if you believe Allie is A, or just A in general, and he was the one that killed Mona because he's the only one truly that knows exactly what Mona was thinking. And, you know, Mona and Lucas seemed to have this bond that no one else had with him in a long time. He seemed to only really be friends with Mona this season, you know? And maybe he was the one that killed Mona and that would make sense why one of them's a guy, one of them's a girl.
Yeah, I love that too.
Or, you know, maybe, Allie maybe did want Mona dead and she sent Lucas in there to do it.
Yep.
Oh, guys, my mind.
Yeah.
Can't even handle it.
I mean, all we know is that Mona was shocked. She was so shocked when she turned around.
Was.
You know, would she be, what would be more shocking, Allie or Lucas?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, that's
if
true.
anyone walks into your room, you're scared, period. Like, getting caught off guard. You're
especially in Rosewood.
Yeah, so I'd be like, you know, anyone will freak you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. But honestly, like, there's so many more theories to be said. And, like, I'm sorry if we didn't even get to all of your guys's, because at this point, it's like, it can go so many different ways.
Yeah.
And they really set us up for, like, absolute confusion, really, which is, I mean, a good thing. They opened a lot of doors because PLL does not come back until Christmas. So we obviously know we have a holiday special coming up, and it's about, what, is it September now? A couple months away. So you guys, obviously, we're going to start getting clues, which is really exciting. And this comes back from Twitter as well, and Marlene King, and everyone's getting ready to start talking about this. But the episode is called How the A Stole Christmas. So we know that, like, in this season, mid-season finale, they were setting up for Christmas, but it was actually Thanksgiving.
And it's actually summer in real life.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. And I mean, like, so now we know once we come back, a month has passed, you know, for this Christmas special. So we're really going to see, I guess, like, how everyone's dealing with Mona's death. You know, is she even dead? A whole month has gone by. But Marlene King is writing and directing the episode that's premiering in December. And she tweeted out this major clue, and it says, "Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn queen, hashtag major PLL holiday clue." We had to educate Ashley on what that song is.
She had never heard it before.
Well, I mean, I feel like some Christmas carols, people just mumble them and just like kind of sing it in the
That is
tune
not
of
one
it.
of them, Ashley. Everybody
like
knows.
main
Sing it for
Christmas
me.
song.
Sing it for me, guys. Sing
I'm
it for
not
me
going
again.
to.
One,
Hark
two.
the herald angels sing.
Ashley was like, I
Glory
never.
to the newborn king. Everybody now.
Okay, guys. Well, as sad as it sounds, or in the last episode, we saw Emily wearing this shirt that said something about like, "Who loves Christmas? This girl," which I feel like that was a clue that has to do with this. I feel like something bad's gonna happen to Emily. I'm scared.
You do?
Because
Well,
like
didn't they
she
put the
loves
doll-
Christmas and
Didn't they put, like, whose doll, like, remember the end of the
Where's
episode?
Jesus?
It was
They
the
put
Mona doll.
baby Jesus with Mona.
Yeah.
Which, as controversial as it is.
yeah, right.
Maybe it was signifying her death, or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Jesus is the newborn king in that song, right? And then they put Mona's doll in Jesus' spot, and it says, "Glory to the newborn queen." So maybe that is a huge clue. Like, maybe Mona is really not dead. Like, this is, you know, she's Jesus. If they're talking about Jesus being the newborn king, and they put Mona in Jesus' spot,
What
you
if
know?
she haunts Emily and now Emily goes to Radley?
Okay, everything isn't about Emily all the time.
Yeah. Well,
Serious,
we know
because she's wearing
that.
that shirt for a reason. Why does she love Christmas? Like, I mean, I get that Mona had to have that little setup of, you know, like Jesus goes in the trunk with her, but like, really, what significance did it have that Emily was the one that loved Christmas and
Yeah.
Emily's house was the one that was getting set up?
Right.
Like,
That's
why?
true.
Why?
They
That's
focused
true.
on Emily.
They
Okay.
did. They did. They talked about that a lot. I was gonna say, shoot, I might have just lost my thought. Dang it!
While you think of it, I did hear that Mona is going to be, just this is allegedly, the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future.
Which would make sense with the song.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I got it. So
Okay.
going along with like those things, right?
Yes.
I'm so happy. Thank you.
You're girl, I got you.
girl.
I got you.
Now that we know that we have access to a Ouija board, like we can all communicate with Mona. And I mean, like we all have our opinions on adding a supernatural thing to PLL. You guys all know how I feel about that. I don't like it. It's weird. But I mean, we know that that Ouija board is in Caleb's house too. Maybe also the reason that the Ouija board was so close to Hannah and Caleb is like maybe they'll be the ones to communicate with Mona. Like this is going like really far supernatural, but I did hear about the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. She's definitely coming back in flashbacks. We know that already,
Yes.
obviously. But I really hope that they truly start using her as much as possible for the rest of the 5th season.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is okay. But here's the thing. On a very real note, the actress Janelle is doing Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
So if they are going to bring Mona back, I tend to think it's going to be after a brief hiatus that happens
Well, I
to
mean,
be
they're
the same as
shooting-
Dancing with the Stars.
They're
season.
shooting PLL right now. I mean, I know that they are at,
Okay.
over at the Warner Brothers set. They're on set every single day.
So they could be using her now until
Yeah, they
it
could.
starts.
Oh, absolutely. Because
Yeah.
Dancing with the Stars starts what, in January?
Right, yeah,
Probably?
is that when?
No,
No,
it
no,
starts
in the
soon.
fall.
It starts soon, yeah.
Okay.
So
Watch
I
Mona
mean,
comes back with this like ripped body.
I
and, like, ghost. Like,
yeah. I mean, she's gonna have a ripped body, but you're
Guys,
right.
I got really
she-
toned in heaven.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, so they could be shooting right now with her. Because it's really soon, like in a couple weeks.
Yes, because the Bachelor in Paradise finale
Oh my
is
gosh.
next weekend. There's a whole other after
Oh my
show
God.
we can do. And then Dancing with the Stars starts right after that.
Right.
Guys, like I'm over here. I'm so excited. I love the 25 Days of Christmas on ABC Family. And the
I
fact that
know.
they have a PLL Christmas special, this is
know.
gonna be the best Christmas
We're gonna
ever,
dress.
guys.
You dress up. I want to dress.
Let's dress up.
Let's do Christmas theme.
That'd be
Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
love
Well, we
it.
should do like all of the holidays because
Yeah.
I love the holidays
Yeah.
and I don't discriminate against any of the holidays because the holidays
so
make me
politically
happy.
correct.
But yeah, so now we know I'm itching like crazy, you guys. There's a lot of mosquitoes in Chicago, so I'm sorry if I look like a crazy person over
I was like,
here.
there's are not any in here.
No,
Sinead.
yeah, there's mosquitoes in Chicago. None in LA though, thank God. Anyways, so we're back in December, you guys. The PLLAS girls will be back in December to talk about that episode. Obviously, you guys can expect craziness over here on these lovely black couches because we're all gonna be looking for what happened to Mona, what other answers we're gonna get. But, I mean, you guys have really been asking us a lot about where we're gonna be over the next couple months. Luckily, we're not going anywhere. We've kind of been saying that for a little while now. We love you guys way too much, and we love PLL way too much, as much as you guys do. So every single week, we're gonna be doing like little fun things that we can all talk about, take a break from the craziness, and talk about just like our favorite couples, our favorite moments, our favorite kisses, our scariest moments, all of that stuff. So obviously, you guys have to keep tweeting in using the hashtag PLLAS for the Pretty Little Liars after show, and look out for us every week on the
Give us
stream.
ideas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
send
give
us
us ideas.
ideas.
We could do
Yeah.
best of or
Yeah.
most likely to.
Yeah.
It could be like a high school yearbook for Pretty Little Liars.
Let
Yeah.
us
This
know
will
what you guys
really
wanna
be
know.
anything that you guys want to see. So
Right.
Yeah.
we're all ears. You guys tell us what you want to see, and we'll be here for you every Tuesday.
Yeah,
Help us help you.
Totally. You guys work so hard on all of your theories, and we love and adore them. So let's celebrate this hiatus together and just do some fun stuff as a PLL nation.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love it.
All right, guys, thank
Here we
you
go.
so much for tweeting in your theories. You guys have been absolutely wonderful. We'll see you
We'll
next
see you
week.
next week. All right, everyone, here we go.
Here we go.
And
Bye.
3, 2,
Two,
1.